Pledge of First Responders, and then the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to say good morning to everyone. And it's nice to have a full house here. And I do want to say, for the sake of all of us, that our workshop meetings are for everybody. And when we have anything on the agenda, the way that we do it is our board members speak first, and then I will ask anybody who would like to speak to any of the agenda items to come up and use the podium after we're done with our comments. So we'd like to hear everything that is going on. Do we have it all this time? You're not being silenced. We can all speak. First thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the Board of Directors meeting of 1/12/19.
One correction.
Oh, yes.
The footer has minutes updated 11/6/2018. Delete that.
Okay. Do we have any other omissions or corrections? All those in favor of the amended minutes as written?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you. We don't have, do we have correspondence this morning? No correspondence, okay. Then we will go right to the general manager's report, right?
Morning. Purchase orders over $2,000 for last month was Accurate Electronics, $4,991 for 1,000 automobile barcode stickers. Property insurance premium with Citizens Insurance was $32,473, which is up $2,114 from last year. Address house number sweep conducted by code enforcement, as we are still seeing many homes without home addresses visible from the street. All of the 8-foot tables have been sold. The funds were put into the operating income. The year-end budget carryover for last year's budget is $15,619, where we had estimated $41,000. So that'll result in a shortfall of $25,000 for this year. The other income goal was $132,800, and we received $133,000 in 525. That's up $1,000. These are pre-audit numbers. All files have been transferred to Master and Company PA for auditing of the 2018 financial and budget. Thank you.
Thank you. And when we have that audit done, we will know definitely about that 24,000, if that is a correct number, that shortfall.
Part 2.
Part 2.
As a follow-up to a previous board meeting, residents' questions concerning registered sex offenders. Brookridge has 4 known registered sex offenders listed inside Brookridge on the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Sexual Offender Predator System. Attached are their flyers for your information and security. Any concerns should be addressed to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. You may also receive alerts from the FDLE on this matter at the link below. And I've attached it. I'm not going to go into it, but it's part of the agenda.
Yes.
And if anybody didn't receive it, they can come to the office if they don't have email, or just email the office and we'll send them a copy.
Now, just as a follow-up for this was generated because of residents' concern. It's something that we had heard at one of our previous board meetings, and Ray was good enough to get that information for us. And I had one concern, and I had asked if they were arrested before they lived here and if they still live here. And security gave me the information. They all still live here, and the offenses all occurred either after they moved in or before Brookridge required background checks. So that's why background checks are really important. So I just wanted to give that out to the people. But we can get that information online. Thank you. Next, we have the violation report for January. Captain Schubert, would you just like to just give us a quick rundown as to what this is and how this is processed?
For the month of January, code enforcement processed 156 violations were opened. A lot of those were from the house number sweep that we did in the community. If you received a notice for the house numbers, that is also a Hernando County ordinance. All house numbers need to be 4 inches in height and visible from the street. So that means they can't be covered by bushes or trees or anything like that. This is the amount of complaints that were opened, which again is 156. That's not the number of complaints that were investigated. Not every complaint that hits the office is actually a valid complaint.
Thank you. And on those house numbers, do they have to be horizontal? Is that the county rule? Or can they be vertical as long as they're 4 inches?
Did you turn it off on me? The rule is for new construction, they have to be horizontal.
Okay.
So if they are vertical now, they can remain vertical.
As long as they're 4 inches
4 inches in height,
minimum?
and visible from the street.
Okay. And that's because of Hernando County for the people that come in here. And I noticed, so I always go through them, for 156 violations that were open, these are complaints that were open, there were 54 that were closed. That means 54 people came into compliance before they were fined. We have 61 parking violations, and that seems to be something that's getting worse than speeding, so we're going to have to think of some way to deal with that. There were only 9 fines issued this month. There were also 9 background checks. We want to remind people that if you have people staying with you or even coming to your house on a regular basis that don't sleep over, we need to have them background checked because we don't know who's coming in here. The other thing is, I was surprised we had 6 pet issues, 2 dog poop issues, and I don't know how they knew who they were. Maybe somebody took pictures, I don't know, but that's a violation. We had 3 unleashed dogs. We cannot have dogs unleashed. And of course the house numbers. So out of 156, that is code enforcement doing their job and keeping our community looking very well.
7 speeding, right?
There was only 7 speeding? Let me see, I didn't even count the speeding, we had very few. We only had 7 or 8 people speeding. So maybe it's working. We're still working on over the hill there, which we have the Pico counter up there, so we'll be dealing with that again. So, thank you. And that's a tribute to Captain of Security and Code Enforcement. Okay. So, we have no unfinished business. And the new business first is the 90-day past due account suspensions, and that would go to Rosemary.
I just had it.
That's
It's here somewhere. Here we go. Okay. There we go. It's green.
Okay.
These are accounts that are over 90 days and due to be suspended, according to Florida Statute 720-3053. If a member is more than 90 days delinquent in paying a monetary obligation to the association may suspend the rights of the member or the member's tenant, guest, or invitee to use common areas and facilities until the monetary obligation is paid in full. Florida Statute 720-3055. All suspensions imposed pursuant to subsection 3 or subsection 4 must be approved at a properly noticed board meeting. Upon approval, the association must notify the parcel owner and, if applicable, the parcel's occupant, licensee, or invitee by mail or hand delivery. And it's going to take me a few minutes because I have 17 this month. The account number, 103033B, 103034, 330023, 330029, 335027, 337030, 343008, 429144, 448015, 461022, 463006, 465016, 466023B, 466024, 475014, 476015, 478018, and 639021. For those who haven't been to meetings, I do not read the addresses. That's a privacy issue. Most of these accounts are at least 90 days. We have a couple that are 189 days overdue. So, we're trying to get these people to pay their fines. As a motion, in accordance with Florida Statute 720-305, these account numbers are past due more than 90 days. Suspension of privileges will be imposed on 2/6/2019 until the accounts are made current. I need a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion. She's going to make a motion. You've made the motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Linda seconded.
Linda seconded it. Any discussion? No. Any discussion out in the audience? If you have any questions about this?
How many of these houses are rentals?
How many of these houses are rentals?
No idea, irrelevant.
We don't, it's not the rental people, it's the homeowners. Yeah.
The property owner.
We want to,
Sir, if you can give us the proper way of doing it is that you should,
Okay, I just throw it in.
no, but what is your name, sir?
Ron DeBola,
and do you know what unit you
Unit
is?
3.
Ron DeBola, Unit 3. It's only for our notes, okay? And we don't know how many are renters, but it goes to the homeowner. It does not go to the renter. Does that help you?
I'm wondering if they have 6 houses.
I can elaborate on that if you.
Okay, yeah. He asked if someone has 6 houses. Yeah, and that's a good question.
My gut tells me none of these would be rentals, but if any of those were, once they reach a serious stage of delinquency, we impose to the owner and a letter of demand to the renter to start paying his rent to the administration office. And we collect the rent on the property until the association dues are caught up. We currently have no rental properties in that classification.
Does that help? Sir, if you could just come up to the podium. See if this is on.
Mike's on, it's not on.
My name's Paul.
Let's dig
My
into
name
it.
is Paul McAdie, Unit 3. My question related to speeders.
Okay,
Are they included in the report?
okay, this is the delinquent report, and these ones we have, and when you look in your news and views, each month we have a list of liens on file. These liens are the ones that have been over 45 days, have been delinquent for more than 45 days. Is that correct? Yeah. The speeders are in another category. This motion here is just for the people that are delinquent over 45 days.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But if it's
If it's 90 days, I'm sorry, 90 days. But if somebody has a speeding fine and they have not paid it, then if they haven't paid it within 90 days, it goes into the delinquent.
Okay, maybe my question should wait until later, but I'll run it by you and see where it should be. Related to speeders,
Uh-huh.
when we're doing the speed limit, and we see somebody going by us at 45, 50 miles an hour,
Uh-huh.
can we, as citizens and homeowners, do anything about that?
No, the only thing that you can do is go to the office and tell them approximate time that happened, and that's when we do the PICO. You know, once we know where it is and people are speeding, that's when we do the PICO. And normally that would be under member comments, but we'll allow it here because of what we're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank
I would
you.
just get a tag number, get the tag number and it's reported to the council.
Microphone, us too.
Okay, all right.
Do I have any other questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a unanimous vote. Thank you. The next is new utility vehicle for Public Works Department reserve item. And this is for equipment replacement for the Public Works Department. Our 2004 John Deere 2x4 gas gator utility vehicle needs to be replaced due to age and repairs. Upon approval, we will use this unit as trade to reduce the cost. And the recommendation is to approve the new purchase of utility vehicle for Public Works Department from reserve funds, account 3240-12, and the current balance in that account is $138,000, $138,841. Now my motion is to approve up to $11,310 plus tax for the purchase of a new 2019 Gator 6x4 utility vehicle with power lift bed.
I'll second it.
Second by Karen. Discussion? This motion is not only to approve that, but we need to, if we can use the Gator as a trade-in. And this will be determined when we approve the sale. And right now, there are 2 bids. There were 3, but one company bought the other company out, and we have 1 online bid. Do I have any further discussion? Do I have any discussion? Sure, if you come up to the mic.
Which grant unit 3? On that Gator, John Deere, on the trade, are we gonna know the trade before the deal is done?
Say that again?
Are we gonna-
I'm going to trade before the deal is done?
Right, I'll go back the other way. Of the 11,310 and change, is that out the door price? Do we appraise the Gator already for trade?
No,
Okay, there we go.
we have not, because they need to physically see it.
Right, are they gonna come here and drive it?
No, when we have a deal with the right account, they usually come out here like they did with their previous equipment and give us fair market value for that item. So if it's gonna be $500, they'll take it off the price.
Okay, I understand that. Can we negotiate the trade then? If they say 500, you say, I need some more money.
Billy, I leave that up to Billy to what
Yes.
he knows the fair market value is, and if he doesn't feel it's a justified trade-in, but this company he has been working with for many, many
I
years.
understand that, but I don't want to leave any money on the
We don't leave
table.
any money on the
Yeah,
table.
no, there's a negotiation process.
Oh, I realize that, I
Yeah.
thought up.
Yeah, I know you do. Yes, but we don't just accept, they're not gonna just say, this is what we're gonna give. No, but Billy's dealt with this company in the
If
past.
he speaks last, he loses it, we
Yeah.
realize that. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Rich. Anybody else? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? It's a unanimous vote. Thank you.
Ray, I got a comment on the trailer. Seeing that this is going to be used on the road, right? They'll be driving it on the streets?
Our streets.
Yeah. Just a suggestion. I've noticed that when our guys are driving, they always constantly got to look over their shoulders. Is there any way we can put rear view mirrors on there so you can see what's behind them coming?
I'll discuss that with them.
Okay.
Okay. The next new business is the proposed Spectrum bulk offer rate. Now this came to us, we had quite a few people asking about that, and so we investigated it, we gave it to Ray to get all that information. So what I would like to do is, my topic is the Spectrum proposed bulk rate contract for Brookridge. And the analysis was to review the attachments to recommend, to determine the best method to decide the will of Brookridge members, homeowners. And this recommendation is to survey the community by March 20th annual meeting and announce a recommendation to the new board. And my motion is to conduct a survey of the proposed bulk limit, the bulk rate TV internet discount from Spectrum by March 15th, 2019. That is the way my motion is read. I would ask for a second so we can have discussion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Second by Ken. If whoever has that, can you please shut that off? Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot to print out my information. Let me see. Now, this came, from, we had gotten a letter, and we had many people that stepped forward that heard about the $46 bulk rate. When Ray investigated it, it's never as easy as you think. Now, I'm going to explain to you what the bulk rate contract would be. The homeowners would receive a TV and internet for $45 a month, plus tax, which would be $46.30. The plan would include 2 top boxes and 1 Wi-Fi router. The TV channels, silver and bronze, would be extra like you always do.
No,
No? Okay.
included.
Oh, it includes the silver and bronze channels. Okay. This plan is normally $130.73 a month. Our savings would be $84.43 per month because it would only be $46. Okay. Seasonal subscribers, those are our seasonals, our snowbirds, they would not have an option of the 6 months because I guess they can do 6 months on and 6 months off. But what they pay is $784.38 per month for the bulk rate.
Per year.
For the 6 months. If we did the $46.30 by 12 months, they would be paying $555, which would be $28 less. Now, here's the glitch. All homes would have to be included. That's the only way you can get Spectrum. Okay. There's no opt-out available for any Brookridge home. We have 2,468 doorknobs, as Ray says. That's the homes. The $46.30 would be included in our monthly assessments. So we would not be paying the $43 a month. at this time, $43, we would be paying $89.30 a month. Okay? That is, you would not be paying Spectrum, you would be paying Brookridge. That is the only way that Spectrum will do this. Let me finish. I know, that's why we wanted to give you all the information, because it sounds like a good idea, but there's always something more to it, okay? Unpaid assessments would be subject to discontinued TV and internet service and late fees. You have no choice. If you had extra services, extra boxes, those would be billed to the owner. Now, in Ray's research, we discovered that Spectrum's highest customer count in the past 12 months for internet was 1,724 subscribers in March of 2018. That means there was 744 non-subscribers for the internet. Now, the Spectrum's highest customer count in the past 12 months for TV was 1,569 subscribers in February of 2018. That's the highest. That means that we have 899 non-subscribers for TV. If this went through, all of those people would have to pay for Spectrum. Okay, that is the deal. That's how they do it at Timber Pines, and I believe they do it over at Silverthorne and many others. Also, the contract is for 5 years, and there is a guarantee of 3% increase per year for the next 5 years. Now, when people did come, maximum, yeah. People did come, and a lot of people talked about this, and this is how we listen to our members. You know, we're only 7 people. That's a great idea, but then you gotta start thinking about all of the homeless, and we have to think of what's best for the total of Brookridge. Where some of us, I would be one, I'd be paying almost $100 less a month. But to the detriment, yes, to you too, but to the detriment of those 800 people that would have to pay. Now, what this motion was for us to do a survey and have that survey done by the annual meeting. We have a couple of ways of doing surveys. There's always a cost involved. So and I'm sure my other board members, I've just told them my feelings. I have not gotten any feedback because that's all up to them. We have a crisis right now with our budget. To have people pay another $46 on top of their $43 that would have to go to Brookridge, because Brookridge is the one that would have to pay the bill. You would not be billed by, individually. So we would have to pay the bill. You'd have no choice but to pay the bill. That's one major thing. Another major thing is, when we want a $1 or $2 increase, what is this going to do to the majority? Just my personal opinion. So the vote is for us to conduct a survey. Surveys are going to cost money. And we want to have it done by the annual membership meeting. My thought is, why rush into it unless we have the overwhelming majority that want it, or we can put it out at the annual meeting and see what people think, and then we can do a survey during the year, and that would give us more time. That's my opinion. I would like to hear from my board members, and then I would really like to hear from all of you here.
I think the annual meeting will be a good place.
Okay. Anyone else? Rosemary?
The annual meeting seems to be the best venue for this. And as far as expenses, you know me, I cringe when everybody says expenses. Being your treasurer, I'm trying to keep a tight rein on the pocketbook right now.
Exactly. Okay. Anyone else?
is there any sort of a time frame to get this price that we have to?
Okay, that's the one thing Ray, is it in there?
Somewhere, yeah, carry on.
Okay, we will get that information. Yeah, I can't remember, I was too interested in everything else.
The bottom of the Spectrum flyer. This proposal is pending final executive approval. This offer expires 10/1/2019.
Okay,
Must connect no later than 12/21/19.
okay. So,
Thank you, Ray.
thank you. So, we do have time. Yep, if you can come up to the podium, name and unit.
Sandy Calisac, Unit 6. Several questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it really quickly because I know I have 3 minutes.
That's right.
Has Spectrum said anything about the fact that satellite owners have to do a buyout of their contract if they cancel their contract earlier? Currently, if I went to Spectrum right now and said I want to switch back to you, they would buy out my contract for the full price I owe. They're going to buy out all these contracts?
Good question. That is a question that we can give to them.
Okay.
This is what we're looking for.
I already, you answered one, the length. 3%, I would hope that we have our attorney look at the contract because Spectrum has been known nationwide for cheating on everything they do. They're almost kicked out of the state of New York because they cheated on their contracts there. I have a friend who did this up in a Panhandle community. They had nothing but problems with Spectrum afterwards. So this 3% I don't believe. I think there's something in the contract somewhere that our lawyers should look at. That's the other communities. I'm going to do this as fast as I can. Now, who pays the payments? You answered that, but there's 2,468 homes times 46. Are you going to have to pay all that, no matter who pays you?
Yes.
Who's going to make that up? Our
Yes.
What? That's not
Oh,
right. That's
one at a
not
time.
right. Yeah, that's just, you're going to have to pay that full thing regardless of who pays you.
Right. And the reason we've done this is that we had a lot of people that have come to us, and it's only fair, this is what we do.
I understand.
When we hear this, but we need to give all of the information, and that's what we're doing. We're not just making something,
I think it's important people understand that.
Yes.
That's going to come out of our operating budget if people don't pay that bill.
Yeah.
The BCPO is going to have to pay it. I thought Frontier Fires was coming in here. I called them on Sunday. They said, no, that's not them coming in. They said AT&T would be the next one in line. And if AT&T came out with a great price for us, are we stuck? You said 5 years, so we're stuck with that. Nobody has a chance to move over to AT&T if it happens. Okay, that's the passive. The final thing, I hate to say it to the BCPO, but I have looked through our documents, and I find nothing that gives you the authority to charge people for something they don't want. And that was, Obamacare went to the Supreme Court, and they were ruled down. You are charging people a fee for something they don't want, and I don't think you have the right in your documents to do that.
and that is the reason why we would do the survey. But the survey, we would, if we get 60% of the people that say yes, that is not something that we would do. If 95% of the people said yes, then we would look at it. But I don't think we'll get, we might get 50% because of the people that have it, and they say, oh, we can bring it down.
Sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
Exactly,
The other
exactly.
problem is, with your votes, your vote for anything is the majority of people who vote.
Yes.
And so if you don't get everybody in the community to vote, you're gonna have a problem getting to that. So I'm personally against just doing it. Voice at the meeting, I'm sorry that you don't want to spend the money, but I think it should be a vote that goes out to every household, that they have the opportunity to send it in.
Exactly, and that's what we do. A vote is, to do a ballot vote, it's about $3,500. And so we figure survey, because people have expressed interest. If we get people that don't have interest, this is a dead issue. But we have to put it out there because it was a major factor for a lot of people. So we want to give people the chance to know all of the facts, so people don't come and say, well, you didn't do this, you didn't listen to us. So this is a twofold.
Yeah.
People.
Unfortunately, you know me, I don't come to these meetings, but I watch them. I always
Yes.
watch them, so that's why I know what's going on.
Yes.
But so many people in this community do not participate, so you're not going to get an accurate vote of who really wants it by just doing a voice vote.
And that's true. But if we get a voice vote that says, if there's 5 people out there and 200 people, we wouldn't even do the survey. Because it's a, you know, you have to have something. I just don't think we should do a survey without, you know, people aren't gonna like it anyway, why spend the money?
So I understand that the annual meeting will just be whether to have a survey or not?
Yeah, it would
Okay.
just be, it would just be a motion out there, a
Just to
poll.
get your idea.
Yeah.
Whether to do it or not. Why spend the money?
So, thank you, good information.
It's on. I didn't turn it on.
You got it right here. Can we hear it?
That's on.
It's on, it's just kind of.
You can-
Yeah.
Nancy Barnett, Unit 1.
You speak up a little bit in the mic?
Nancy Barnett, Unit 1.
There you go. That better?
As far as the spectrum, I'm from New York State, hate it. They're always raising my price. I call them up and ask them why, because that's what they do. I have DirecTV, and so, you know, I will not be voting on keeping that. And if you're gonna say you get 95%, does that mean that I have to do it whether I want to or not?
If we get 95% of the people that really want it, then we would just not vote on it. We would still have this venue and talk to everybody. The board, I think, is pretty unanimous in saying if all people don't buy into it, we're not going to, because there's a lot of people that don't buy into it because they can't afford it. And that's our biggest concern right now, because we are on fixed incomes. I mean, it's hard to get $1 or $2, but $1 or $2 a month goes right to Brookridge, where $46 a month plus is going directly to Spectrum. And some people just can't afford it, and we're very leery of it, but we have to do it in this venue because people, we didn't just get one person, we had a lot of people, and we have to give everybody the chance to voice their opinion, and this is how we do it.
Yeah, but I'm still asking, let's say that you get 95%. I don't want it.
I don't think this
I don't
board would,
think you will either.
I don't think this board would vote on it. Because those other 5% are people that usually are destitute.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Nancy.
What do you think in their advertisements? In their advertisements, they promote no contracts. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen their no contract.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 5 years for us, exactly.
Doug Roloff, Unit 4. I would like to know, with this deal, would empty lots be paying this assessment also?
Doorknobs.
Doorknobs.
Just
No,
doorknobs?
yes, doorknobs.
Doorknobs.
This is just my opinion, but it sounds like whoever brought this up just wants to break on their TV bill or whatever.
That is
They want other people to pay for it.
You know, but Doug, I'm gonna give those people credit. They had no idea what this entailed. All they heard was other communities did it, and they're only paying $45 a month for something that they paid normally $145 a month. We should do it too. So we have to give people, you know, this is for the residents. And if we had 15, 20 people approach us, and I said, well, we gave it to Ray. He got the information. We investigated. People come to us and we investigate it. That's what we do. And this is what it is. We don't have to agree with it, but we want to give it out there. And I think that this board has a pretty good handle on how the community feels. We're out in the community all the time. Personally, I don't see this flying. It would help me, but I have a lot of people that can't afford cable. And I'm not gonna ask them to pay for something that they can't even afford.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Doug. Anybody else? Gary? Oh, wait a minute, sir, this gentleman first, and then I'll get you next. Gary?
You go.
Yes, please go.
Gary Owens, Unit 3. In my opinion, Spectrum has a track record like the garbage company. However, I like this Spectrum TV.
Yeah.
I watch 3 TVs at a time. I have 3 TVs in the living room. It doesn't cost me any more to have 3 than to have 1.
That's
And
right.
I enjoy 3. Okay?
Then you'd have to click back and forth even.
Well, right. I can watch 3 football games at once. Just for the record, I brought my bill. My bill last month was $196.48.
Yeah.
Will this save me money? Oh, yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
Now, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, it mentions in here that we can have somebody from Spectrum come and give us a little talk. Did we plan on that, or?
This just came to us, and we're thinking perhaps at the annual meeting.
I mean, as we go along.
As we- yes.
It'd be a good idea.
Yes.
I think it would. Anyway, the next question is, I have phone, and it's not in here. Is this voice phone, is that's
That's
mentioned
extra.
in the, is that the phone card?
That's next
And that's $10 a month?
That's the quote in there, but it's billed, that would be billed directly to you.
Yeah, that would, I would
Yes.
say, but I just wondered about the cost. It's gonna be $10 extra for me, right?
Yes.
According, well, until we go up.
Until they go up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Hi, Kevin Gregorio, Unit 6. Excellent questions, excellent points. The only thing I wanted to add,
Yeah, I'm talking to the mic.
I'm sorry. The one thing that really bothers me is, you know, the no opt-out. To me, for me personally, that's like a non-starter. And it does really, it's not fair to a lot of other folks. And I mean, I believe in competition, and hopefully we will get competition.
Trying.
You know, from especially fiber, but the other thing that I noted, and it was just pointed out, but all the other costs here for, like we have phone, DVR, and so on and so forth, and then even premium channels, if you add those up, okay, that's,
Yes.
for us, that would bring us close to 80 or 90.
Yep.
Yes, we would save money, we all love to save money, but the big picture or whatever, it's very, very, very scary, so I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there, and don't be afraid to give your opinion, is there anybody here who would like to see Spectrum come in? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Wait a minute, we have some. We have 3 people, and you know, we have to, I don't want anybody, we have decorum in our boardroom. Is there anybody who would like to come up and speak in favor of it? We have 3 people. Rich? We want to get both sides of the issue.
Again, Rich Stratton. It's a great deal, sure. You gotta pay your money out of your pocket. We all know that. But what did we do 50 years ago? We had a TV antenna at your house, am I right? Nod your head, you did. You had your channels. I have that today. I have a TV antenna. I get all the channels.
That's right.
I got my news, I got my football. What else do you, everything about it? I don't have my animal channel. I don't have the World War II channel. But I do have enough to get by. I don't sit there all day and watch TV. Little news in the morning, news at night. Well, I get my Jeopardy. I get my schooling. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But the idea is great, but everybody has to participate. But if I don't participate, I'm not going to pay even $100. I'm under $50. That, to me, that's kind of high myself, because I don't like spending the money like everybody else does. Like Gary Owens said, Gary, 194?
196.
Oh, that's
He's a TV watcher.
I'll give you that's the ballpark. That's $200. That's $2,400. It's a lot of money. But just the idea that I look at it, and if it was $40-some for every that they're going to give me, could be positive. I don't know. It has to be a vote. We're talking about a vote.
That's what we're talking about.
Good things and bad things about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Okay, I see some more hands up. Yep. Come on up. You know the routine. You forgot, we'll remind you.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. I'd be interested in knowing, I heard that somebody had Dish or Direct. I'm wondering how many pay a different company out of that 744 or 899. That would be an interesting number. And I'm curious if for those that are unable to afford, that do have a hardship, if there's any way that the community could compile a fund for them.
Interesting concept, but as a homeowners association, is that every homeowner is a part owner of Brookridge, of your association, and we cannot, I think it's against statute, as a matter of fact, for us to pay others, because that's the way the homeowners association is made. But thank you. I thought I saw another hand up. Oh, Miss. Yep, and you'll be next, sir. Okay. I thought I saw another hand back there too. Oh, I do see another hand back there.
I'm Carol McNiff and I'm in Unit 3. I just moved here November 5th and I was shocked when I got my first bill from Spectrum. I moved here because I am a widow, I'm on a fixed income, I still work, and this looks good because in a sense, I have had this in Silverthorne and Timber Pines. The only suggestion I have, if anybody's going to vote on it, is why is it that you people of the board have to pay it? We paid individually. It wasn't so that it takes the burden off the association. Let them all pay their own. If it does go through, why? My question is, why would you have to be responsible for paying Spectrum? Because Timber Pines doesn't do that, and Silverthorne doesn't do that. They send bills to each individual resident. Okay?
Do you have anything, do you have another, because I want, we can possibly answer that.
That was, Ray, was that what they told us that was the deal for us?
They told me, Mark DeMasi said that the people at Timber Pines and Spectrum, their bulk rate contract is paid by the association. The homeowners pay for the separate charges.
That's not what, I have my bills from Silverthorne and I pay directly to Spectrum.
How much was your bill at Silverthorne?
$44.
That's what it was. That's your side. But
And I got internet, Wi-Fi, TV, and phone.
so your homeowners association was paying the bulk rate as part of your dues, according to Mark DeMasi.
Okay, I didn't understand that. Thank you.
Because anything extra that you have, if you do another tier, if you have the other ones, and your phone, you pay, that's what you pay separate to Spectrum. But the cable.
One of the reasons this came forward was one of the reported Timber Pines residents brought it to one of our residents. See, here's my bill, $7. But he's paying his association dues. That's where his bulk rate is being paid from, included in his association dues. The $7 was for one of these additional charges. And
What about the homeowners association?
the homeowners association of Timber Pines.
That's separate from Spectrum.
Again, this is the information that Timber Pines is on a bulk rate contract. Now, I know Timber Pines has different associations over there, I believe, not just one big one. Anybody know that for a fact? I don't know.
Yes, they do have separate
Okay,
associations.
and this person gave one of the residents here a $7 and change Bright House bill. That was for a separate item. He pays $100, $200 to Timber Pines. That includes his cable TV and internet.
Well, evidently both associations are different then. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you. And thank you for the questions, because that's how we find out. I saw, yep, there you go, sir, come on up.
Bill Haney from Unit 2. I'd love to see this go through. I'd like to save money, because my wife, every month, she sees that and says, really? So she wouldn't be able to say that. But right now, for a couple of months now, I've been fighting with Spectrum, because I'm from up around Boston area, and I wanted a Major League Baseball thing. And when it came to the end of the season, I went over there and says, well, baseball's over with, and I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh, it's automatic. Well, the next thing I know, I still had that on there, plus Major League Soccer. I do not like soccer. I hate it. I don't like watching my grandkids run around while I'm standing out there in the cold. And finally, after 4 or 5 different phone calls, they're gonna give me $20 out of 140, I think it was. And I said, why? I didn't order it. Well, it was available to you. So when you're going up against Spectrum, they try to get as much money out of you as you can. I like to save money, because that makes my wife happy, and that makes me happy. But also, I do not like the fact that if you're not getting something, why do you have to pay for it? It's not right. It's, as far as I'm concerned, un-American. This country was born on, you work and you get it. And I work, I got 5 TVs, 5 boxes. I have to have one in the garage because my wife keeps the house too cool. But if I didn't have a TV, or if I had an antenna or dish, I don't want to pay for something I'm not getting. And I don't think anybody else should. It's wrong. As far as I'm concerned, it's stealing. So that's my view. I'd like to see it go through, but not at the expense of people that can't afford it. My neighbor's 92, she can't afford it. And if all of a sudden she says, I gotta pay another $40-something, you know, she might, drop dead right there, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of money for people. I mean, just telling people they gotta add another $1 or $2 to the annual fee, sends everybody into an uproar. But $40-something, and I don't know if you have Dish or Direct, I imagine if you still keep it, they're not gonna make you take it out, but you still have to pay that $40-something. So, if we have one question, if the population goes up or down, does the amount of money we pay go up and down too?
It still goes by the doorknobs, by the number of homes.
So if we get more homes, the price will go down?
No, it's still 46, it's still that much per household. That's Spectrum.
Okay, if you lose a bunch of houses, is the price gonna go up?
No, it's still $46 per household.
Okay, that's all I got to say.
Thank you. I see, did I see, well, wait a minute, I saw a hand up over there. Anybody? Okay. We're okay.
Nancy Barnett, Unit 1. After you do the survey, if it does come to that, can you go back to Spectrum and say, this is as many people as we have that want to switch? Just because they told you that that's how they want it, I would just bring it back to them and just say, well, this is what we have, either take it or leave it.
That's not an option. What Spectrum...
So this is what they're saying is what they
What
want.
Spectrum wants...
Not what we want.
No, what Spectrum wants is to have to me, it's a monopoly in here. Because when Bright House moved to Spectrum, there was a lot of people in here that stopped, and we had to stop Spectrum trucks from coming in and soliciting, because they were coming in, and that is against our rules. And Captain Schubert had to go out many times and make them leave. So that is, it's an all or nothing. It's very tempting, but for those of us who have Spectrum, it's very tempting. But we can't think of just ourselves. We need to think of everyone else. And I think even 50 or 60 people that don't have it, those people are usually the ones that can't afford it. And why put that burden on them for us? Let's get antennas or whatever. I mean, we can do something different, but we shouldn't burden people more. It's hard enough to try to get the budget passed so we can have a full employee, you know, all the employees and all the amenities that we have, rather than have that. Nancy, thank you. Yep, come on up, sir.
Paul Mackey, Unit 3. In their proposal, was there any mention of increasing their employees for the number of service calls they're going to get? Because they definitely will get additional service calls.
Not at all. I'm sure they're numbers people. They don't care about this customer service.
That's for sure.
I worked in 2 insurance companies, and as soon as they become numbers people, they don't care about customer service.
They just stepped into the wireless market too.
Mm-hmm.
We jumped onto that, and it's the absolute worst wireless service ever.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah.
So again, there's an example of what we might be facing if this all comes to fruition.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Oh, you gotta come up. You have to.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Are we all set?
Can you hear me now? Okay. Lynn Murray, I think I'm 2, I'm not sure. A question, we all got notices that we were gonna be needing a HD box if you didn't have one before, and it was gonna be free. So now this proposal gives us the free boxes, but after a year, is there going to be an additional rate going up for that, like there is now?
I don't.
Two free.
2 free.
For now, that's how.
For now. For now.
Forever.
For now.
Forever.
Forever.
As long as you're on the bulk contract.
Okay. Another thing, I'm not sure if people are understanding, this is really a good deal. They say, I have a DVR, so that's going to be extra. If you have more than 2 boxes, that's going to be extra.
Yeah.
If you have a phone, it's going to be extra.
Yes.
Which is going to be an extra bill to you, to your house, not included in this.
That's right.
So, and I'm not sure people are getting that.
Yep. And we're trying to get that information out. This is the first time that we presented the information, so there will be much more information going out.
Too good to be true, but I don't want them dictating to me what I want, so.
Yeah. So if something's too good to be true, we all know that adage. Sir?
Kevin Gregorio, Unit 6. I don't know if anybody asked this question, so this may be redundant. I kind of mentioned something in the passing about what would be nice is to have competition. Do we have anybody else that's trying to get into Brookridge as far as, some people have mentioned fiber, running fiber and what have you, AT&T's been mentioned. Is anybody else actually trying to get in here to your knowledge?
Yes, AT&T has new lines. They finally they're all finished. They did that this past year. But I don't know that much about it, so if Ray could give us any information on that type of inquiry?
AT&T did update, but they have not offered you UVerse service yet to the Brookridge residents. We would anticipate, since they went through the trouble of upgrading the lines, that that would be out sometime this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, that was great. That was great information. That was a great question. We're going to wrap this up after this question, so we can get the vote, because it's getting a little late, and I don't want people leaving on us.
Frank Matthews, Unit 6. It sounds to me like they wanna get a monopoly so that we can't have AT&T or anybody else.
That's possible. Okay, and it's really good to hear the comments, because we needed to know, how people felt, and I hope you'll all come to the annual meeting in March. So the motion on the floor is to conduct a survey of the proposed bulk rate TV internet discount from Spectrum by March 15th. I would like to amend that motion, that we conduct a poll at the annual meeting to see if people would want to do the survey or not.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a second by Ken. Okay. Ken did, yeah. Do we have any discussion of my board members? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. And thank you for all your input, people. Yeah, we're ready. Okay. Yes. Quick question for Ray.
No, you can't.
Please. Ray, quick question. When, do you remember the year that our last contract with then Bright House ended, and how long was that for?
The contract that we're currently operating under is an easement access agreement. Has nothing to do with bulk rate contracts. It allows them to keep the infrastructure in our right-of-way. And 2022 is when they come around, every 10 years.
Every 10 years?
And again, that has nothing to do with individual services. One part that does is that if the bulk rate, they have 6 nodes in Brookridge. They said if Brookridge executed the bulk rate, they would need to increase it to 7 nodes in here because of the amount of homes.
Okay, I know when we moved in 13, we couldn't get anything other than Bright House.
As far as cable, you still can't.
You still can. Yeah.
And Bright House is Spectrum. Yeah. Okay. Now on to violations and appeals. Mr. Ken.
Let the record reflect the following paragraphs will be inserted into the appropriate AVRC case decisions when noted in herein after reference as paragraph A or paragraph B. Paragraph A. The fine and/or suspension of privileges imposed will continue until compliance is met. It is the violator's responsibility to notify the code enforcement officer if compliance is met. Upon verification of compliance, any fines or suspension of privileges after the initial suspension is served will cease upon payment of outstanding fines and/or administrative fees. Paragraph B. All action, punitive or otherwise, decided by the BCPO Board of Directors will go into effect immediately upon all reoccurrences of this violation, 12 months into the future. If a reoccurrence happens, fines and suspension of privileges will be imposed immediately until compliance is met in accordance with BCPO Rules and Regulations, Article 12, Section 3, and Section 6. The hearing date was on this is one from carryover from last month. Case number 7384. One unregistered female resident residing at residence. Resident must register. 14267 Misty Street. I recommend a penalty of $100 per day and 60-day suspension of privileges. Paragraph A and B would apply. I make a motion to accept this violation according to our documents.
Second by Ron. Discussion. This is, yeah, is Mr. Lester here? If you will recall, Mr. Lester was the gentleman that had a hard time walking and he had a stroke and other things. And he said that for the lady that she was his home health care. Well, Mr. Lester, we had him come into the office, we had a nice conversation with him. And he could not produce a, showing that she was a registered caretaker. So what we did was we sent him a letter, we told him that we would send him a letter, and the letter basically stated, in order to come into compliance with the deed restrictions, please have your caretaker come to the office sometime Monday through Friday for the whole month, and check and meet with with Captain Schubert to verify her credentials for security clearance for Brookridge. That is how caretakers get in, okay? We gave him until this morning to avoid the $100 a day. We gave him 2 or 3 weeks to do that, actually maybe a month. Mr. Lester has not complied. His caretaker has not come into the office, and our UBL log, our visitors log, show that she's still going in on a daily basis. So Mr. Lester was given, I think, up to 30 days to come into compliance. He has not done so. That is my statement. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor of imposing the penalty and the suspension of privileges, vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Is it a unanimous vote?
Yes.
Yes, it's a unanimous vote.
Case number 7276, 14071 Brookridge Boulevard, unregistered male adult, Scott Ryan Edwards, residing at the property. I recommend a penalty of $100 per day, suspension of 60 days privileges. Paragraph E and B will apply.
I have a second by Ron. Again, this is an unregistered male, and the reason we found out he was registered is because he was detained at the Hernando County Jail, which we check every day, and he gave his address at that Brookridge Boulevard. We spoke with we sent the information out to the owner, and she has not complied, so that is why. Is she here?
She is here, and, yeah.
Oh, she's here. Okay. If you could come up. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were here.
I did reply.
Okay.
Let's start there.
I take that back. Yeah, please use the microphone. No, you need to use the microphone.
This is
Identify
the
yourself.
address that Scott is using.
Wait a minute. I need your name.
My name is Christine Perkins.
Christine Perkins, okay.
When I was given the citation,
Yes.
I got with Scott and said, what's going on? He did have my address as an address for, he was homeless. Guys, I want somebody to know where to find me.
Okay.
He has since changed it. I came up, I showed him, we took care of it, I thought.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's very upsetting to
No,
me.
that's okay. That's okay.
Madam President,
Yes.
Sorry.
during the time that this violation went out and it got put on the agenda, I did have a conversation with Ms. Perkins. She did show me, she has a picture of the license for Mr. Edwards that shows another address. The license is issued by the state of Florida, so this complaint is now in compliance as we speak now.
Perkins, fully apologize.
No, I understand. I do understand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I need to amend my motion. I make a motion to close this case.
No, Ron would have to second.
Agree, second.
Okay.
Case closed, no paragraph?
Well, we need to, no.
No fines, no suspensions, no waiving, nothing.
Okay. Can I have a vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a unanimous vote. Thank you. Do you have something to say about this, or do you want to wait to member comments?
No, I'd like to say something about that, and I have a question about the unregistered occupants.
Okay, sure. This is the workshop. You gotta give your name and your unit number again. I like it when people are good
Nancy
focus.
Barnett, Unit 1. My first question is, I thought I read that you had to register somebody if they were going to be in your house more than, was it 2 weeks?
30 days.
30 days.
30 days. 30 calendar days.
So my brother's going to be coming, he's going to be here for a week, so I don't need to register him.
No.
Okay. My next issue, I've been to maybe 3 of these. I don't understand how you could have this lady come up here and this wasn't notified about before this happened. Why would she have to go through that? And she's already spoke with him.
Because I explained, when I was explaining it, I said between the time that it was put on the agenda and today, that she came into compliance. It was already on the agenda, we can't take it off yet.
Oh, you can't take it off.
No, see, Nancy, Nancy, right,
Nancy.
we get the agenda on Friday. Code violations, I speak with Greg on Monday. And this was, I have to read it as it was written up. And the consensus would be after the fact. I already knew what I was going to be proposing. It's just that I had to go through the motions and do it the way I read it.
And the other thing, Nancy, is that we get the, Nancy, the people get she got this violation, okay? She got the notice of violation. If she had come up and given us this before it went on the agenda, it would have been closed. Once it goes on the agenda, we have to go through the process. So that's the reason why that happened.
See, the original how this all happened was this person gets arrested.
Right.
This person her son gave
I
her
understand
address,
that.
and that's how it all got generated
Right.
and came on the internet and what.
I know I wouldn't have been as nice as her. Thank you.
She would have been as nice as her. I thank you for those remarks.
Yeah.
Val?
Are we in member comments? Where are we?
Well, we're still, they're asking,
Move the
they're asking about this. I know.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. Just to clarify, is it people that spend the night 30 days in a year, or people that visit? You know, regarding the first one, did that person spend the night?
It doesn't matter. Our deed restrictions say if you're here more than 30 days in a calendar year, that makes you a regular visitor, and we have to protect all of our members. You can come every day. If you're coming more than 30 days in a calendar year, you need to be registered so we know who's coming in on a regular basis. If somebody comes for a couple of weeks vacation, that's something different.
So if I had a card game at my house and we had it once a week, all my 3 visitors should get a background check.
It depends on how often that they're there. You know,
Once a
that's-
week, so 52.
Yeah, that's something that you should discuss with Captain Schubert to see how they would handle it. Okay, thank you. Okay, next we have the report of directors. These are on committee reports and projects only.
Okay, I have one. I'm looking for a couple of folks to serve on the AVRC committee. 'Cause I have a couple of folks that are seasonal and will be leaving us shortly, and I just could use a couple of volunteers for that. If we get too many, then I can always split them up and you can have a 1 month off.
Thank you. Linda?
I just want to remind everybody, and those that are leaving, that Monday, February the 11th, at 7 o'clock, we're going to be having a town hall meeting up here concerning the progress of our front sign. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. Again, the 16th of February, we're having the Battle of the Bands up here at the clubhouse, and March the 16th, we're having horse races. We're having a company come in and we're doing horse races. It will be a fun night, so it's just another couple fundraisers we've got going on. So that's all I've got right now.
Okay. Rosemary, do you have anything? No, but committee reports? Okay. Now we'll do member comments. Board first, and then we take everybody.
Lynch took my microphone away. I don't know if he was telling me something. Yeah. Okay, Marge Roloff had to leave, so she asked, I told her that I would make this announcement for her. Sunday, this coming Sunday, February 10th, Helping Hands is having an all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast from 7:30 to 11:30. It's $5 a person, like I said, all you can eat. And we have our pancake master, Ken Sajak, who's going to be cooking our pancakes.
You'll enjoy it.
Yes, very much so. There's pancakes, sausages, juice, coffee, all you can eat for $5. Tickets are will be on sale Thursday in room D from 9 to 11. They're going to have a quilt raffle. They'll have crafts for sale and also a silent auction. So they'd like, what they raise goes to the community, the Linus Project, to the veterans. All they make gowns for hospice. So any money that they collect is to make these things. So Marge asked if we could have a good turnout Sunday, like I said, 7:30 to 11:30, and it's all you can eat.
Oh, I thought you turned it off. Two quick things. People know that the gate has to go down in between vehicles, whether you're going in or going out. That gets to be a real bone of contention. And anybody that's been through there knows that gate's been hit several times. Let me give you just a little bit of a hint. If when you go through that gate, if you pull up far enough for it to reach a barcode, let the gate go up and wait for the light to turn green. There is red and green light on the right-hand side. Wait for that light to turn green, and then quickly proceed through it. Don't squeal your tires because they don't like that. But quickly proceed through it. The vehicle behind you doesn't have quite enough time to get up and let it read the barcode, so the gate, in fact, comes down. So, point of order for you on that one. Second thing is, we've got elections coming up, and ballots have been mailed out. Last year, the year before, we always have ballots that get thrown out because they don't qualify. They don't qualify because people fill the ballot out, put it in the envelope that says ballot, and then they drop it in the ballot box. When you complete your ballot, put it in the ballot envelope, and then put it in the envelope that has your name and return address on it. That goes in the box, because then when they open that box, they're checking to make sure that you're qualified to vote, and they check you off. If the ballot one is in there that has no name, they have no idea who it's from, and it has to be set aside and voided out. So please make your votes count. Everybody out there in TV land too, fill out the ballot. There's two of them, one for the deed restrictions, the other for the board of directors. Put both of those in the one that says ballot in big terms, in big letters. Put it inside the other envelope that has your return address on it, even if you're not mailing it, and then drop that in the ballot box so we know who you are.
No, you have to wait till it goes down. No, it has to wait till it goes down. They get preference because of the big bucks we get. I'm going to be real quick.
The trash service. Okay, trash service. Number one, first and foremost, if you do not pay for trash service, you are not getting a bucket. I cannot believe how many people have said to me, I didn't get a bucket. And I says, well, do you pay for trash service? Yeah, I pay my $43 a month. That's not in there, it's a separate. So all the people that have been getting away with it for all these years, they're not getting a trash bucket. On the other hand, I know we've had a lot of problems. I had to chase the truck myself to get my trash bucket. They insisted I wasn't on there. And after a couple of minutes, they were convinced I was. But I do have the name, the correct name of the right person for me to speak to. I wanted to wait for the first trash thing to go through, and I'm going to be contacting him this week. I want to have a face-to-face with him, not a phone conversation, a face-to-face, because I have all of the issues that people have. So we're hoping within the month that, now I know who to speak to, that president and commissioner, or the, whatever his thing is, he's a superintendent of the Hernando Waste Office. Got the right person, and let's see if we can get this. All we ask for is patience. If you do not have a bucket and you were supposed to get a bucket because you paid already, make sure you just call the county and the whatever the number is and say, I need my bucket and what number you are. So I just wanted to say, before everybody left, I wanted to make sure I said that. What?
Okay.
I know this is a pretty lengthy meeting, and I'll try to be short. I received a letter to me personally. That's why it's not out in correspondence. I received this January 17th, 2019. And I feel this is very important to the community. We attended the meeting on January 16th. One of the things discussed was the speeding and the driving habits of many drivers. We live on Brookridge Boulevard, and from my kitchen window, I see many speeders go by. Also, while walking or at my mailbox, very few cars move over into the other lane. I always have to make sure there is someone's property I can step onto to stay safe. If there is another paper to fill out, just let me know. Well, I did tell this person to fill out a complaint form, because code enforcement did get recognition for addressing, and any complaints should go to the office and fill out a complaint form. I'm not going to mention the person's name for reasons, you know. So I just had to read this letter, and I just want to make sure that this is not going by the wayside. And I did speak with code enforcement, and we know the address where this is, and he'll be addressing the Pico County there very shortly, and we'll be addressing the speeding in that area. Speeding is working. We only had 7 speeders last month, which is, our documents is working. And I want to thank you all who are abiding by the speed limit and keeping our roads safe. Parking violations. The parking violations are, it is not just because you park on the grass one time. This is accumulation of violations that code enforcement will not write you up for a one-time thing. Seeing that we had almost 50 this past month, that's unreal. You're allowed to park on the road. There's no reason for speeding violations. So let's cut that down, and let's cut our monthly violations down to 100, and I'll be happy. Thank you.
Linda?
Nothing more.
Okay.
Bev first.
Beverly Epson, Unit 6. Would you review the error that the printer made in the ballot that was sent out so that everybody will know?
Okay, thank you. When the ballot went out, our printer printed, I think, 2 pages the same, and left off one of the resumes for one of our candidates. She's a very good candidate, Anna Webster. So those of you, 900 or so people that have email addresses, that the recording secretary, i.e. Ray, sent out her resume separately yesterday. She is on the ballot, and she is running. And for those of you that watched the candidates night, the 4 people that were up there were very good, very conscientious, and I think they'll be a great asset to Brookridge. But please do not forget
in Webster, because she'll be a great asset. Does that, does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Next, lady here.
Hello, I'm Kathy Schifano, Unit 2.
Hold it up closer to your mouth.
Kathy Schifano, Unit 2. I have a question about people who come in for card games weekly or whatever. How does that, and you want to know who they are, et cetera, and so on. This is for the security officer. What is done about older people that come in weekly for the bingo?
With regard to what? I'm not understanding your question.
I think the question had to do with the question previous, where you have people coming in
To
for
be
30
registered?
days.
No, because bingo is open to the public. So obviously, if they're coming in once a week to come to a public event here at the clubhouse, that's different than coming to a residence.
But, okay, then my understanding is that if I have friends coming in from out of the community weekly to play a card game or
No,
bowling
that's,
or something.
a weekly visitor is not residing at your house.
No,
And it's-
they're not staying
Yeah, so
overnight.
that's not applicable for having to register somebody. If they're coming once a week to play cards and have a potluck dinner, no, that's not needed.
It's not. But if
No.
I have somebody coming in as a caregiver for hospice, as I used to be,
Okay, caregivers, again, would be a vendor, not a visitor. The caregiver is actually a vendor, and again, they're not subject to, if they're a licensed caregiver, they're not living at your house, they're not staying at your house, they're performing a function. Even if that function is on a daily basis, they're still a vendor, and they're not subject to register.
so they're good to go.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Molly McAdee, Unit 3. I was just wondering, I heard something about people not being allowed to park on stones that they put in their yard. Now, I know several people have actual driveways that they made out of stone. They're not allowed to park on that?
Okay, we'll let security, because there's a grandfathering thing there. Hold on.
Okay, at one time, parking pads were allowed to be made out of stone. You had to have it approved by the office. For those homes that have an approved stone parking pad, yes, they can still park on it. But if you just xeriscape your lawn or a section of the yard with stone, that is not an approved parking spot. So only the people that had approved stone parking pads that were approved a number of years ago, those are the only ones that are allowed to park on that particular area.
Okay, so the new people that moved into this house are able to park on that pad that was put in years ago?
No.
No, once the house is sold.
Once the house sells, or once the property changes hands, the grandfathering ends. The grandfathering of that parking pad is for the property owner that put in that parking pad years ago. When the property changes hands, the grandfathering of that parking pad ends.
What kind of damage are you doing parking on stones? I'm curious.
That is immaterial. What the issue is, our governing documents now state that the only approved parking is on concrete or pavers. So it's not about damage or non-damage, it's what our governing documents state right now.
Is there some way to change that then, so that people can actually park on those?
You would have to have the board do that.
It's something that, come to the office, call the office and ask to speak to me, and I will get back to you as to when I'm in the office, and we can have more of a conversation on that. I would appreciate, I mean, so many people do it. Don't be afraid to come to the office, I don't bite. They put me in the back though.
You're in the office frequently, or?
I'm in a couple of days a week. I am a volunteer and I'm trying to be retired. But, yeah, but you call, and what she does is